Hi everyone, good morning. This is Vatsal Shah, your own Indian host for various events, including Meet Magento, and then today I'm hosting VSF India Meetup. This is the first version of VSF Meetup, and then we all like-minded people who are either part of front-end development or Vue.js, or you can say Magento community. And then we all are here to learn how Headless is shaping up, how Vue Storefront can help us scale up our career or grow in our life, and what magic VSF have. We have fantastic lineup of speakers today. It will be started with Mr. Piyush, who is the owner of, or you can say CEO of Aureate Labs, and he will talk about what Headless is all about. Then we will have Philip himself from Vue Storefront. He's going to tell, okay, what is the next level, and then we have our favorite one, Jise, is going to tell us that how you can modernize Vue Storefront 1.0. And then we have somebody from our own team where he has made a connector between Shopify and VSF. He's again from Aureate Lab and he's going to tell how Shopify can go headless. And then we will have a networking opportunity. We will have each session which is of 30 minutes. And at the end, being a business coach and mentor to various companies, what I do is I help people grow from small to big. So I'll be sharing my views, how you can build a lasting and amazing career, which can last for many, many years, and how you can, have fulfillment in your life, how you can make a career which you love. And at the end, again, we will have sessions, which is where you can talk to all the speakers who are available today. So let me start with introducing our first speaker of the day, Mr. Piyush Lathiya. He is from Surat. He is CEO of Aureate Labs. Few years back, he started his agency, and earlier he was focused on Magento. And then after a few years of realization, he understood that experience is everything. And then he shifted as Vue Storefront core partner of India. And because of that, he is hosting our event today. He is the sponsor as well. So we will listen to Mr. Piyush sharing his views about how to choose a front end for a headless commerce, which is a way forward. Piyush, over to you.
Thank you, Vatsal Bhai. So, Namaste India. I'm delighted to see all of you here, especially on Saturday. Vatsal Bhai has already given my introduction, but let me give you my version of introduction. Basically, I'm from technical background. When I was 16-year-old, I built my first static website. Then I launched first production e-commerce website on the top of OS Commerce e-commerce platform. While I was working on OS Commerce, Magento was launched. I'm talking about 2008. Then I started learning and working on Magento framework. So technically, I'm working on Magento since its inception. Later, I started Aureate Labs with team of 3 people, and gradually we grew. And right now, we are 50 plus people of team and scattered across the India. Since last 2 years, we are working on PW and Headless Commerce. We are the first core partner of Vue Storefront in Asia Pacific region, and we are focusing on headless commerce and building interesting next generation e-commerce projects. That's all about me and my company. Next, my today's agenda. Very first, I will explain you how technology and human behavior is changed over the time. Why there is need of advanced front-end technology, why headless commerce came to the existence, and how to choose right front-end framework. In the end, I will explain how we chose Vue Storefront. During the presentation, if do you have any question, feel free to write in the chat tab you will see on your right side. I'll answer all of them at the end of the presentation. Due to the time limit, if I'm unable to answer, don't worry. I'll make sure to answer all of you after my session. If you wanted to reach out to me after the event, you can message me on Twitter or LinkedIn, or at the end of the event, you can connect me using session tab, which you will find in your left. So let's get started. Fine. Before I jump on the technology part, let me explain few things about human nature. We are very obsessed with enhancing physical and mental capabilities. We always try to invent better version of everything, either it's technology or convenience or efficiency. This issue of Time magazine from 2011 They mentioned that we are fast approaching the moment when humans and machines merge. This actually reflects ambitions of mankind, and it's too high. I found it very interesting, so I put in this presentation today. Let me walk you through evolution of internet, browser, and e-commerce. Before 15 years back, internet was look like this. We were more than happy to wait for 5 minutes to just access the internet. Lots of things changed since then. Right now, people are talking about fifth generation of network, which is 5G, which means gigabit internet speed. Uh, if compare those days with current, we don't like to wait. If internet is just down for a while, you got frustrated and you pass through some emotions, which is not good thing. If I compare this with e-commerce, then back in 2012, you were fine if website takes 10 or 20 seconds to load, but later internet speeds improve. Almost all smartphones have internet connectivity, thanks to Mr. Mukesh Ambani and Jio. Internet speed has changed human behavior for sure. I'll explain why. Now you wanted to now you want that website to load within 2 seconds instead of 10 or 20 seconds, which means merchant has to adopt new technologies which increases speed of their online store. If they don't, they will fall behind the competitions and they has to pay opportunity cost. So this is the modified Maslow's pyramids of needs. I put here only for fun purpose, but it's currently current reality according to me. Roti, kapda, or makan plus internet. You can imagine you cannot imagine a day without internet. You sleep and wake up with the smartphone. Since last 3 decades, we show big evolution in browser and its capabilities. The very first browser was only capable to render text only. Then it evolved by time. Many giant tech companies arrives and make browser a better place. In nutshell, browser only understand HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Many interesting events happened in last 2 decades. W3C form to maintain web standards, meaning if you wanted to create your own browser, you can do it. You just need to follow W3C standards, and website will work almost the same way as other popular browsers. Gradually, many feedbacks comes in, and popular browser started adding new features to increase efficiency of web pages. Lots of JavaScript framework introduced in last few years, which solves lots of efficiency problem. Right now, modern browser has capabilities to perform many interesting operations. For example, we all come here to attend this meetup, and this is happening through browser for almost all. I can share my camera, audio, and screen, which was not possible before 2012. I think so. Chrome was the first browser who actually include these capabilities. What web can do today is the interesting website which show if your browser can perform some task or not. I have put link here for your reference. Now let's move on the e-commerce part. Now let me explain how e-commerce has changed since a decade. Let me give you example of Indian origin gigantic website Flipkart, so you can relate with that. It was look like this back in 2011. In last 10 years, along with the web technology, Flipkart changed a lot. Now you will find lots of information and interaction on websites. Its user experience is super smooth. It uses artificial intelligence which help their users to making shopping decision faster. Also, lots of third-party services are installed on the website. One more interesting thing about Flipkart, if you don't know, is that it was the first company to launch PWA. Beyond the website, there are lots of updates coming from VR and AR world. You can purchase goods using VR, and there are many tech companies building proof of concept around this. AR is already get popular among with I think so few industry furniture or cosmetic. You can customize makeup using AR, and you can preview placement of your sofa using smartphones. Apart from AR and VR, voice commerce is also popular. I personally use Alexa to add my grocery items to Amazon cart. Later, I review it and place order online. I find it a more efficient and convenient way. Okay, so I hope I have explained you how e-commerce and web technologies are evolving. Moving to the next segment. Now, I will explain a bit about discovery of advanced front end. What is the need of that? I will try to explain how browser works and what happened behind the scenes. Uh, I believe all of you are aware of this process, that how HTTP request response flow works. Let me explain very briefly. When you put any URL to your browser, World Wide Web find destination for the server, it accepts the request and send relevant response to the browser. Once browser receives this response, it processes it and render a page on the screen. This response is HTML document which contains HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Imagine if you are visiting e-commerce website, you are requesting for homepage. Server will simply prepare a HTML document for homepage and send back to your browser. A browser will render the content on the screen. Now you are on homepage. You are going to category page. Same process will happen. From category page to if you are going to the product page, again same process will repeat. Now let me explain you about a new perspective to make this process more efficient by taking example of Flipkart. For example, I'm on category page. Here I annotated header and main content area in slide. Now when I goes to product detail page, server will build HTML content for product detail page and send back to the browser, and browser will render it. Simple, right? Uh, but if you see here, header section in category in product page is repeating again, right? Meaning every time I visit across the website, browser has to repeatedly uh, render this header section again and again. It's just one example. Let me explain you different solution to make this process more efficient. Let's do this actually. For example, when you click on product card, the browser will not send request for whole product detail page to the server, but instead of that, it will ask only for the dynamic product data. So steps can be look like this. In step one, when you click on product card, it should update the product URL on your address bar. In step two, browser will only request for the product data. Let's say server will send response in JSON format. As soon as browser get response, it should update the main content to the product layout like this, and then replace all the placeholders with the dynamic data, right? So you can see that now browser doesn't have to render complete product page. Instead of that, it just update the one section of the website. Uh, this is a quick and this is quick way to load your pages faster, don't you think so? So here I give you one example of Flipkart to just explain you the concept. It anyway uses modern technologies to render the page faster. uh, what I explain you is the name of that concept is single page application, or SPA for the short. In this concept, JavaScript managed to send the dynamic data to the server and update particular section of the page with dynamic data or logic. Uh, the perceived problem with SPA is that is with its DOM updating. DOM updating is expensive in terms of device resources, as browser needs more computation power to do that. In modern apps, there can be thousands of nodes in DOM, and updating them is a such time-consuming process, and sometimes it can slow page down. Let's say your desktop browser is still working faster as it has good resources, but what about smartphone devices? This process can even take more time, as a smartphone doesn't have that much computation power like desktop. So, and lots of traffic nowadays are coming from the mobile devices, right? So there should be a really good solution for that. Um, so there is some great solution which can make whole process more efficient and faster. This problem can be solved using virtual DOM concept. Many JavaScript framework like Vue and React implement virtual DOM. This may sound too complicated to you, but the main purpose is to increase the speed and the efficiency of DOM updates. Apart from this, it has a few more benefits to offer. In this concept, all changes done on the top of virtual DOM first and after computing difference between virtual DOM and browser's DOM, relevant changes made on the top of the browser DOM at the last. This saves lots of traversing and processing time of browser's DOM. Using this technique, many JavaScript frameworks render page instantly. I'll try to explain this by example. For example, a React.js can create hundred thousands of nodes in virtual DOM per second. The another good features of modern browser is service worker. It is nothing but JavaScript which is installed in the browser when you visit any website for the first time. And of course, if that website has service worker, it will register in your browser. One of the key advantage of service worker in terms of performance is that it has the ability to proactively control and control the caching of the assets. If you can cache all necessary resources, then website will load faster for returning visitors. Using service worker and advanced JS framework, you can load website much faster so that user can feel that you are accessing some native application. When you have fast speed, your bounce rate will decrease, which results into a increase in user engagement and more conversion rates. Uh, Till now, I explained about single page application, virtual DOM, service worker. These all features are included in latest JavaScript frameworks. Using it, you can build advanced front end for your e-commerce website, where performance and conversion rates matters a lot. Now let's move on to the next segment of my presentation, which is discovery of headless commerce, why it came to the existence. We understood benefits of advanced front end, that it renders page really faster. But real question is how one can implement it with your existing e-commerce framework like Magento or Shopify. The answer is it's a little bit difficult or nearly impossible, because Magento and Shopify both are using their own template system. Magento uses XML and PHTML, while Shopify using Liquid. But there is a workaround. Uh, what if you can build entirely new front end on your own choice or on your own preferred JavaScript framework and use e-commerce APIs to fetch required data? If you look at the e-commerce platform, Magento, Shopify, BigCommerce, or any other e-commerce platform provides enough API endpoints which covers all e-commerce operations, right? In this way, we can separate front end and backend and connect them using APIs. You can even host front end, backend, and middle layer on different server, and separate team can manage each of them. You can build front end. You can build a front end using latest JavaScript framework like React, Angular, or Vue. You can use Magento, Shopify, BigCommerce, Commerce Tools, or any other e-commerce framework as a backend. Benefit of this structure is that you can integrate new components or touch points in future easily, as everything is modular and loosely coupled. One second. For example, if you wanted to use third-party CMS system instead of your e-commerce platform, no problem. You can do that. Your front end will fetch data directly from the third-party APIs instead of backend. Similar way, if you wanted to use third-party search engine or personalization engine, you can do that. This new way is called as a headless commerce. I hope I have made it clear for you. All right, so let me talk about benefits of headless commerce. So using latest JavaScript technology, you can build store which has lightning fast speed and reliable user experience. Let's talk about scalability and flexibility as a benefit. As your backend and front end are loosely coupled, you can scale them independently. If you got lots of traffic on the front end, it doesn't affect to your backend. For example, if you wanted to integrate voice commerce or want to build PWA of your own online store, you can do it easily. During this process, you will face some error during the development time, but it won't affect to your backend operations. In traditional commerce, in order to make desired changes on front end, you have to work in parallel with both hands. In case of Magento, sometimes you have to put your website under maintenance mode to perform important updates. Let me give you another good example of flexibility. For example, if you wanted to use WordPress as your blog solution, then you can fetch required blog data directly from WordPress API. But later, if you are not happy with WordPress, and if you wanted to use another solution like Ghost, Prismic, or Contentful, then no problem, you can achieve it without much difficulties, as you don't need to make changes in middle layer, and minor changes you need to make on front end layer. As headless commerce is scalable and flexible enough, you can add or integrate any features quickly. This is my favorite example to explain speed of go to market. Assume that your client is using Magento as an e-commerce platform, and client's marketing team wants to launch festival landing page, right? Then this can be a typical procedure. The marketing head will prepare a rough mock-up for the landing page. UI designer and marketing executive will bring idea to the life. Development team will start implementing landing page on staging server very first. QA team will do all the testing. Then it's approved by your marketing head. Now if it's approved, then your DevOps guys will pull changes to the production server, and finally campaign goes live. Here, one landing page passes through 7 different procedures, and nearly 7 resources are allocated for few hours during the 4 days. Now let's check how headless scenario look like. In headless case, this will happen. Marketing head prepare a mock-up of the page. Designer will build some of the components of the page. Marketing executive will build, preview, and publish landing page using third-party CMS system, and your campaign goes live within 2 days. Here, your team size is almost half. Here, client can save operation cost, and speed of going to market is really fast in this particular scenario. This is one of the example to show you efficiency of headless commerce. Here, your marketing team has freedom to test their idea and run and monitor campaigns independently without relying to backend team. When your marketing team has enough flexibility to execute their ideas, then they can try a best idea and increase the conversion rates. So let me summarize all benefits of headless commerce very quickly. Yeah, first one is front-end team has full control and they can perform best individually. Marketing team will have freedom to test ideas and run different campaigns easily. You can achieve sub-second site speed. When you have faster website, your bounce rate will be decreased. When your bounce rate is decreased and you have great user interface, then your ad spending will be decreased. Hence, your customer acquisition cost (CAC) will be decreased. If you have lighthouse green score, then it will certainly help you in search engine ranking. And finally, you can add new touch points or integrate any third-party system easily. All right, so let's talk about so I have talked about benefits of e-commerce. Now moving to the last segment of my presentation, which is how to choose JavaScript framework or head for your headless commerce. Here are lots of there are lots of JavaScript frameworks are out there in the market and lots of choices to make. But confusion is which one to focus on and which one to ignore. I believe that question is not. I believe the question should not be which is the best framework, but question should be which is the best framework for me, because every individual person has their own feeling when they are using any framework, right? Every week there are new frameworks is coming out, so how you can stay up to date? Sometimes it's really difficult to make choices that which is the best over others. Let me make choice little easier. I have list out I think so top 3 popular frameworks here, which is Vue, React, and Angular. If I talk about this framework a little bit, then Angular is backed by Google. React.js is backed by Facebook, while Vue.js was invented by Ivan Yu after working with AngularJS for a few projects. Vue.js is maintained by few core members, and there is no big company backing it. Before making choice of any JavaScript framework, uh, you actually look at surveys to figure out which one is popular in your domain and community, which one has shortest learning curve, which is the lightweight, which has a best performance, how is the community and support is, what kind of feature it has. There are a lot of other questions you may ask before making a choice. I believe that all three frameworks I mentioned has a large community, great documentation, good performance, and they provides all features which your application needs. Um, to make right choice, I would suggest you learn one framework first, then learn other two. When you are learn first, then you can learn second and third framework easily. Then idealize one application and start building all this particular application in all three frameworks. Now measure which framework increase your productivity, which one actually feels right fit for you, which feels more comfortable, and you get inspired. I think so that's how you can make best choice. Let's say you came across with some complex use cases where you can simply make decision where uh, sorry let's say you come across with some complex use cases where it's really hard to make some decision. uh, at that time you should rely on performance metrics. For example, you need to build dashboard of one application where thousands of rows you need to render in single page. Then user can select them and export data using mass action. It is kind of complex application use case. Another example is one community who sells 3D model online. For them it's really crucial to show hundreds of models within single page. Their customers should be able to rotate or zoom 3D model very fast, right? So in such cases you should look at performance metrics of each framework. Those metrics can be DOM manipulation, startup time, or memory allocation, etc. But the good news is that you don't have to do it on your own. There is one guy named Stephen who has already performed analysis and prepared benchmark of 50 plus JavaScript frameworks. I'm putting a link here for your reference. This may help you in decision making. I think so I'm running out of time. I'll go really quickly. In let two, okay, and the last one is, okay, this is last segment. Uh, I'll explain you why we chose Vue Storefront. In late 2018, we started looking for a headless commerce solution for our clients. We need a long-term solution because our clients can't simply change front-end technology for every 1 or 2 years, right? We are looking for a platform which is open source, popular, lightweight, and faster. We are also looking for a solution which is platform agnostic, because we are providing solution to our clients in Magento, Shopify, and BigCommerce as well. We spent thousands of hours of time in evaluating different JavaScript frameworks and other platforms. And finally, we end up with the Vue Storefront. In terms of Magento, VSF1 uses Elasticsearch as a middleware, which is much faster than default Magento APIs, which boost overall performance. We feel that Vue.js has a really short learning curve. Our team was able to learn Vue.js within 2 weeks. Vue Storefront works with most popular e-commerce platform, uh, third-party CMS, and payments and other third-party services. Vue Storefront has a great community. Their core members are very active and supportive. Uh, uh, that's the reason. That's the all reason why we chose VSF as a front-end platform. Apart from VSF, we are also using React and Vue-based framework for our custom projects. So I think so I have make you clear that why the needs of the advanced framework, what is the need of headless commerce, and how you should choose your JavaScript framework. Let me summarize. Right, as developer, you have to stay up to date with the technology in order to provide next generation solution to your clients. It's wise to learn and use framework which is already adopted by community. Headless solves modern e-commerce problems, and it has many benefits to offer. Yeah, that's all from my end. I think so. My time is over. So, hi, Mitchell. Vatsal.
Yeah, so let me tell you, आपका टाइम ओवर नहीं हुआ है, आपका टाइम आ गया है, ऐसा बोल सकते हैं. And then Indian community, please look at like one interesting talk Piyush did, that we should choose technology based on performance. But I have some other opinion as well. Indian developers choose technology based on what client asks for. Anyways,
Which
so
is true.
it is good to know that we have to be technology agnostic. We can try new technologies. Headless is the way forward. In my talk at the end, I will say how you can choose one of this, or you can say multiple of this, such that you become versatile and have a great career ahead. But it is great introduction about headless, because I, like many people, would have a doubt where what is headless, how it is moving ahead, and what could be the architecture and so on. So if you have guys, if you have queries and doubts that how it is going to work, what kind of implementation it works, what is the learning curve, how you do it, you can talk to Piyush on LinkedIn, Twitter, or in the backstage. And I'm giving you 10 minutes time to network. And after that, we have Philip from Vue Storefront. He is a CTO and he's a JavaScript developer. We'll listen to him for the next level of Vue Storefront. Stay tuned. Take care.
Thank you very much, everyone.